Hello, welcome to Celestial Coaching. My name's Marina and I'm one of the UK's leading life coaches. Thank you so much for booking an appointment with me today. I'm really looking forward to getting to know you and how I can help you. So just wanted to start off with speaking to you about what you can expect from me as your coach. So my role essentially is to provide a kind of support that will focus solely on your situations and the kind of attention and commitment that you rarely experience elsewhere. I will listen to you with a genuine curiosity to understand who you are, what you think, and generally how you experience the world. And I'll reflect that back to you with the kind of objective assessment that creates real clarity. During our conversations, I'll encourage you to rise to challenges, overcome obstacles, and get into action. And really, a coaching relationship is like no other, simply because of its combination of objective detachment and commitments to the goal of the individual. So because the relationship is based on trust and openness, the contents of our discussions will of course be confidential. So I think that's really great. And then what I will expect for you in return is really for you to stay committed to the coaching process. So that means showing up to sessions, taking your own notes where appropriate, and keeping any agreements you make during the sessions. In addition, I need you to be open to the potential of coaching. So that really means contributing to conversations honestly and openly. For example, if something isn't working, I need to know. And if you have any concerns or problems, please voice them. And if you know why a problem is occurring, say so. The strength and power of coaching relates strongly to the level of openness and trust between us. How does that sound so far? Okay, fantastic. So today, as it's our first session today, I'm just going to start by asking you a number of questions so that I can understand a bit more about you, what you want to achieve, your character, motivations, triggers, strengths and weaknesses. And then based on this, going forward, we'll speak once a week and come up with an action plan that we discuss together. Does that all make sense, or do you have any questions? No? Okay, great. So I'll just start with some admin questions. So could you just confirm your first name and also the name you'd like to be called by if it's any different? Okay, great. I'll note that down. Fantastic. And then your last name, please? Fantastic. And could I take your email address as well? So this would be our main point of contact with you, as well as a phone number. So just start by taking your email address, if that's okay. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. And then your phone number. So if you have like a work one or like a personal one, just let me know which one would be the best one and I can note multiple ones down as well. Just your personal? Sure, no problem. I'll just note that down now. And then what is your current role and employer? And then what brings you to coaching? What made you decide to go for it? Okay, sure. Thank you for sharing that. And then what areas are you interested in exploring in your coaching? So I've got a couple that I usually suggest to my coaches. So this includes career advancements, getting promoted, career planning, managing a career transition, communication and collaboration, giving and receiving feedback, managing difficult conversations and conflict, public speaking or presentation skills, building relationships and networking, communicating with leaders, managing up, increasing visibility and personal brand, influence and assertiveness, negotiating, coaching and developing others, developing executive presence, empowering others and delegation, motivating and inspiring others, change management, decision making and problem solving, project management, strategic planning, increasing productivity, planning and goal setting, time management, balancing work and life, finding my purpose and passion, improving physical health, stress management and self-care. So this is kind of like a quite long list, but of course if you don't identify with any of these or you have something else you're thinking of, that's totally fine. Just wanted to give you a little bit of inspiration. Yeah, you want a couple of these? Okay, I'll note those down. It's great that we have kind of a focus to start off with. I think that's fantastic. Great, I've noted that down. So can I ask, have you worked with a coach before? No? Okay, no worries at all. So because you haven't worked with a coach before, what kind of things do you expect to learn or change in your opinion? Sure. Okay. And what are your expectations for our coaching relationship? Sure. Okay. And how will you know when you're seeing results? And then just to kind of get to know a bit about you a little bit more, what do you consider to be your most significant achievements? And that doesn't just have to be work-based, it can be like anything in your personal life as well, just to kind of get to know what you view as kind of an achievement and to know a little bit more about what you get up to and things like that. Yeah? Oh, that sounds great. That's a lovely achievement. Thank you for sharing those with me. And now I've got a bit of a trickier question, but just answer it in the best way you can. There's no right or wrong answer, and obviously no judgment at all. What's the hardest thing you've had to overcome, and how did you do it? Yeah, you think you got something? No worries. It's a bit of a tricky question, so whatever you can think of, that's fantastic. Don't worry about it coming out correctly and think, I'll note down and kind of get some insight from you from this as well. Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate it's not always the easiest question. Which learning style suits you the best? Okay. Great. And what stresses you out? Thank you. And how would you describe yourself? Thank you very much. So now I'm going to deep delve into some of the topics you said you'd like to focus on a little bit more. One of them being health and wellness. So I just want to ask a few questions so I can see how I can help you, how we can put a plan together that we'll work on together, of course. So what are your specific health goals? And don't worry about how they come up. I'm writing down what you're saying, and then kind of in our next session we can work on creating SMART goals, so specific, measurable, attainable, and time linked as well. So I'll just note down what you're saying now. No worries. We'll refine these later. Great, I think that's really great goals you've already thought of. Fantastic, thank you. And then my next question is, why do you want to make this change? And then what have you tried in the past that's failed? Can you tell me a little bit about that? Okay. Thank you for sharing this. And then can you describe to me your energy levels? Okay, so they're different at the weekend, no worries. I'll note that down. Okay, and how much sleep do you get on average? And can you describe your tobacco or alcohol use? Okay, sure. And then can you describe your relationship with food? Okay. Thank you very much. And then the next area you mentioned that you'd be interested in focusing on is career. So I kind of wanted to ask you a few questions about that, if that's okay. Yeah, fantastic. So what career do you think would align well with your strengths? If it's not already the one you're doing, of course. Okay, great. And what transferable skills do you have? Fantastic. Okay, thank you. And this question might be a bit difficult to answer, but do your best. And it's of course not anything towards you, it's just to kind of find out your thought process and how your awareness is around everything. So what would you say decreases your marketability? I think you answered that very well. Well done. I know it's not the sort of question people like to answer, but I think you answered that quite well. We can kind of build on this as well, no worries at all. It's just about awareness for this one. And then if you had all the necessary resources, support, skills, what career would you pursue? Take your time to have a little think about that as well. Okay, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's something that would be like in an ideal world, so don't worry if you don't have the skills today, no problem at all. So I like to ask these theoretical questions. Okay. Cool. Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that. And how do you envision your successful future self? Fantastic, thank you. And who do you have to become to have the job that you want, in your opinion? Great, perfect. And now I'm just gonna ask you some more general questions, just to get to know you a little bit more again, and see how you're feeling about potentially creating a life plan, because that's something I think would be really great in our next session to start talking about. So these questions, they might seem a bit random to you, but they are really important at the same time. So for you, what's the best part of your day? Yeah, it can be today or any kind of like typical day, whatever you think, whatever comes to your mind. There's no right or wrong answer here. Okay. And what are you grateful for? And can you name a few positive moments in recent months? Great. And if you had no restrictions at all, who would you be? Okay. Fantastic. Thank you so much for answering those questions, and I appreciate some of them were not so easy. Now I just want to check how we proceed, if this is the right option for you, because as much as I'm kind of you're coming to me for help, I need to make sure that it's the right option for you. So I just want to ask you a few final questions just to make sure that this is the right choice for you. So I'm going to read you a number of statements, and I kind of need you to rate them out kind of a scale of whether you strongly agree or disagree. Okay, so the first one is around your readiness for coaching. So in regards to the statement that I'm going to read out now, please could you rate it whether you strongly agree with it, neither agree nor disagree, or strongly agree. So the statement is, right now is a good time for me to begin working with a coach. What would you say about that one? Okay. Perfect. And then in terms of clarity, how would you rate this statement? I have a clear understanding of what I would like to work on with my coach. So do you strongly agree, neither agree nor disagree, or strongly disagree? Okay. And then in terms of openness, how do you feel about this statement? I'm open to investing in my personal development right now. So do you strongly agree, neither agree nor disagree, or strongly disagree? And then the final statement is, I believe I can achieve meaningful change or growth by working with a coach. So would you say you strongly agree, neither agree nor disagree, or strongly disagree? Okay, fantastic. thank you for answering those questions. So from what you answered there, I do feel that you could benefit with some coaching from myself as long as you're happy. And then I just wanted to ask one final question is, how will the coaching be funded? So is that personally funded by yourself or funded by your organisation, so your workplace, just so that I can know that? Okay, no worries at all. I just ask because sometimes when it's funded by your employer, for example, they might kind of want you to have a report at the end of each session, and of course I'll provide that with you, but it kind of needs to be in a different format, so that's really great to know. So thank you so much for answering all these questions, and I just want to say a big well done, because some of those questions are not easy at all, so you've done really well. So as I mentioned at the start, we can now set up kind of weekly sessions going forward. So I'm going to review everything that you told me today, and as I also mentioned in the session, I'm going to start thinking about sort of potential life plan aspects we can start discussing next week. So I'll come up with some ideas, and if you want to kind of take some note down of what you want to discuss next week as well, that would be great. And I always recommend my clients bring a notepad with them just so they can note down anything they pick up and they want to think about. So that's really good. What day would work best for you? Okay, Wednesdays. Sure, let me just get my calendar up. And was there a specific time you wanted to have sessions? Okay. So I do recommend that my clients have sort of a weekly time slot they do every week so they can kind of stay committed to it. But of course, I understand things might change, so that's no problem at all. But what I can say is, so next Wednesday I'm free at 6 o'clock, and that would be kind of a recurring slot that I have available to you, if that would be of interest. Okay, great. So I'm just noting that down. So from next week, 6 o'clock Wednesdays, we'll have kind of a recurring weekly session. We can have more sessions if you wish, but I think it's good to start with just one session a week, and we can kind of tailor that. We might move it to fortnightly or more frequently in the week. It's totally up to you and what we find works for us. Yeah? Okay, perfect. So I've put that in, and yeah, you come in, and if there's anything else you want to discuss, that's totally fine, but we'll kind of work on ideas around a life plan if that works for you. Okay, fantastic. Well, it was really lovely getting to know you today, and I look forward to speaking to you next week. Okay, take care. Bye bye.